The power of small wins, how tiny victories build unstoppable momentum. The path to extraordinary success often feels overwhelming, laden with seemingly insurmountable challenges and distant milestones. The idea of achieving greatness can sometimes paralyze, creating a sense of distance between where you are and where you want to be. Yet, what if the key to unlocking that greatness isn't found in grand gestures or life-altering changes, but in the subtle power of small, consistent wins? Every significant achievement, whether it's mastering a skill, building a business, or transforming your life, is made up of countless tiny victories. Each small win, no matter how insignificant it may seem in the moment, is a building block that reinforces your momentum, shifts your mindset, and propels you forward. These wins are not just fleeting moments of accomplishment. They are the steady fuel that drives progress and ignites transformation. The most powerful force for growth doesn't come from the occasional burst of effort, but from a sustained, disciplined approach where tiny successes accumulate and compound over time. This is where real power lies, creating unstoppable momentum, day by day, step by step. It's not about waiting for the perfect moment to make a dramatic leap forward. It's about recognizing and embracing the daily wins that, when stacked together, create a force far greater than any singular achievement. Imagine waking up each day with the intention of claiming one small victory. It could be as simple as completing a task you've been avoiding, learning something new, or making progress on a goal. The beauty of small wins is that they don't demand perfection or grandiosity. They demand consistency, focus, and a willingness to show up. And it's in this process of showing up, time after time, that true transformation occurs. Success doesn't come to those who wait for the big break. It comes to those who harness the quiet power of small, deliberate steps. This is the art of building momentum, not by seeking monumental victories, but by cultivating an environment where every win, no matter how small, adds up to an unstoppable force. Chapter 1. The Hidden Strength of Small Wins. There is a quiet, powerful force in small wins that often goes unnoticed. In a world that constantly celebrates monumental breakthroughs and grand achievements, the value of tiny successes can be easily overlooked. Yet, it is these seemingly insignificant victories that quietly lay the groundwork for lasting success. Each small win, whether it's completing a single task, making a productive decision, or pushing past a minor obstacle, compounds to create a momentum that eventually leads to major transformations. The idea that small actions lead to significant outcomes is not merely theoretical. It's rooted in the way our brains are wired to respond to progress. Every time we experience success, even in the smallest form, our brains release dopamine, the feel-good neurotransmitter that reinforces positive behavior. This biochemical feedback loop makes us more likely to repeat the action that led to the small win. Over time, this repetition builds new neural pathways, reinforcing habits and shaping our behaviors in subtle yet powerful ways. These small wins create a ripple effect, each victory increasing our belief in our ability to succeed. When we acknowledge and celebrate these victories, no matter how minor they may seem, we strengthen our resilience and motivation. This cycle of success builds confidence, which in turn fuels further action. The power of this process is not found in the magnitude of the win, but in its consistency and accumulation. The psychology behind small wins lies in their ability to shift our mindset from one of scarcity and doubt to one of possibility and action. Instead of waiting for a large breakthrough to validate our efforts, we learn to find satisfaction in the incremental progress. When we focus on small, attainable goals, we reduce the mental barriers that often prevent us from starting or continuing a task. Each win becomes a stepping stone, making it easier to take the next step and the one after that. Furthermore, small wins serve as a foundation for long-term achievement because they create sustainable progress. Unlike dramatic bursts of effort that often lead to burnout, the steady accumulation of small wins builds enduring momentum. This momentum, is what propels us forward during difficult times. It's not the single giant leap that makes us successful, but the continuous series of small steps that add up over time. As small wins accumulate, they also reshape our identity. The more we experience success, the more we begin to view ourselves as capable and competent. Our internal narrative shifts, reinforcing the belief that we are not only capable of achieving our goals, but that we are in control of our own progress. These wins become a reflection of our growing potential, not just in terms of the tasks completed, but in the transformation of who we are becoming. The compounding effect of small, consistent actions cannot be overstated. Much like the accumulation of wealth through consistent, small investments, the daily pursuit of small wins leads to exponential growth. Each small action adds value to the larger picture, turning what may seem like minor, inconsequential steps into an unstoppable force. By embracing this philosophy, we unlock the true power of progress, one small victory at a time. Chapter 2. From Micro Goals to Major Triumphs. The road to achievement is rarely paved with grand gestures. Instead, it is constructed through the steady accumulation of small, deliberate steps. Breaking down larger goals into manageable steps is more than just a practical approach. It is a strategic decision that accelerates progress. By focusing on micro goals, we sidestep the overwhelm that often comes with the scale of our ambitions. What might seem like an insurmountable mountain, when broken into smaller achievable tasks, becomes a series of foothills, each one leading us closer to the summit. When we look at monumental success stories, it is evident that those who achieve greatness are often those who mastered the art of breaking things down into manageable pieces. Each small task completed serves as a building block, moving the individual closer to their overarching goal. The process of splitting a larger task into smaller ones allows us to celebrate progress regularly, reinforcing the feeling of accomplishment and providing the momentum needed to continue. It is not the end result that fuels us, but the many wins along the way that drive us forward. Micro-level focus is crucial in this approach because it helps us channel our energy and attention where it is most effective. Large goals can easily feel distant or unattainable, leading to procrastination or doubt. But when we break them down, we shift our attention from the enormity of the task to the immediacy of the next step. Each step, no matter how small, becomes a direct action that moves us forward. This shift in focus makes the process feel less daunting and more achievable, allowing us to build confidence as we go. The key is in recognizing that the sum of many small actions creates monumental results. This method also trains the mind to focus on the present moment, rather than becoming lost in future possibilities. With a micro-level focus, we eliminate the noise and distractions that often come with long-term planning. Instead of feeling overwhelmed by the enormity of the journey, we take comfort in the small, actionable steps that are within our control. Over time, these small wins begin to stack, and progress becomes a visible, tangible force in our lives. When challenges arise, and they will, our ability to reframe them plays a critical role in leveraging incremental wins. Instead of viewing obstacles as roadblocks, we can begin to see them as opportunities to learn and adjust. Every challenge, no matter how difficult, holds within it the seeds of growth. Reframing these challenges shifts our mindset from one of resistance to one of opportunity. A seemingly insurmountable problem can often be broken down into smaller components, each requiring a different solution, and each offering a chance to succeed in a small way. When we approach setbacks with a mindset focused on incremental improvement, we take away the paralyzing power of failure. Instead of getting discouraged by a lack of immediate results, we can celebrate the smaller steps that move us closer to a solution. This approach allows us to stay grounded in the process, rather than becoming fixated on the end goal. Every small action taken in response to a challenge, whether it leads to a direct success or not, is a win in itself. The power of incremental wins lies not just in their direct outcomes, but in their ability to shift our approach to obstacles, transforming them from barriers into stepping stones. As we continue to break our larger ambitions into smaller, actionable steps, the feeling of progress becomes tangible. We begin to recognize that success isn't about waiting for one grand moment, but about embracing the countless moments of progress that come with each micro goal accomplished. Through this lens, challenges become opportunities to refine our approach, and small wins become the stepping stones to significant lasting triumphs. Chapter 3. Building a daily routine that fuels progress. The power of a well-crafted daily routine cannot be overstated. Our routines shape not only the trajectory of our day, but also the trajectory of our lives. A routine that is designed with intention has the potential to turn every day into a series of small victories that accumulate into monumental success. This requires more than simply scheduling tasks. It's about crafting habits that inherently prioritize the small wins, those seemingly insignificant actions that, when repeated consistently, yield extraordinary results. At the heart of a productive routine is the recognition that small victories, not grand gestures, are the key to sustained progress. By identifying actions that can be completed daily, no matter how small, we begin to weave a fabric of success that covers the entire day. This could be as simple as starting the morning with a focused action, like reading a page of a book or organizing a workspace. These tiny wins create an environment in which success becomes habitual, turning every day into an opportunity to achieve something meaningful. The more these small victories are built into the fabric of the routine, the more automatic success becomes. Consistency is the fuel that powers this momentum. A routine that incorporates consistent actions does not require enormous bursts of energy, but instead thrives on the steady repetition of small tasks. This steady pace creates a sense of accomplishment that propels us forward, no matter how small the task at hand. Consistency reinforces the belief that we can accomplish whatever we set our minds to, and over time, it builds a foundation of success. The real power in consistency lies in its ability to keep us moving forward, even when motivation wanes. Through daily repetition, we create a sense of inevitability in progress. Each small action taken builds upon the last, forming a chain of events that drives us toward our larger goals. Creating systems that make wins inevitable is the secret to sustaining progress. While goals are essential, it's the systems, the processes, and structures that ensure those goals are consistently met. A well-designed system removes the need for constant decision-making and willpower, relying instead on automatic habits that drive action. For instance, a system might involve setting specific times for focused work or incorporating breaks for reflection and gratitude. These systems make it easier to take action, ensuring that success doesn't depend on fluctuating moods or motivation, but on the system's inherent ability to guide us through the day. In this sense, the system doesn't just support progress, it accelerates it. By establishing routines and systems that prioritize the completion of small tasks, we reduce friction and resistance. The actions required to succeed become integrated into our daily lives, and the process becomes as important as the outcome. This approach fosters a deep sense of ownership over our success, as the systems and habits we've created are both the means and the reward. The cumulative effect of this daily routine is profound. It's not simply about completing a set list of tasks, but about aligning each small victory with the larger purpose. As these habits take root, they begin to shape not only our day, but our long-term trajectory. What was once a conscious effort becomes automatic, and in doing so, the process of achieving goals feels less like a challenge and more like an inevitable outcome. Each day becomes an opportunity to move closer to success, and with each day, the momentum continues to build, becoming unstoppable. Through this structured, consistent approach, the victories stack up, propelling us forward with ease. Chapter 4. The ripple effect of tiny achievements. The beauty of small wins lies not just in their direct impact, but in their ability to create ripples that extend far beyond the moment of achievement. These tiny victories, though they may seem inconsequential at first glance, have the power to shift our mindset, elevate our confidence, and reshape the way we see the world. They become the foundation upon which our larger successes are built, and in doing so, they transform our perceptions of what is possible. Every small win serves as a quiet affirmation that progress is being made, even if the results are not immediately visible. The consistent accumulation of these wins, no matter how modest, builds an inner strength that reinforces our belief in our own potential. It's in these moments of achievement that we realize we are capable of more than we originally thought. This gradual shift in mindset opens the door to new possibilities, as it teaches us to focus on what can be controlled and what can be accomplished in the present moment. Instead of being overwhelmed by the larger goal, we learn to appreciate the incremental steps that lead us there. Each small success reinforces the belief that bigger achievements are not only possible, but inevitable. The power of these wins extends beyond ourselves. As we recognize the impact of our small achievements, others around us begin to notice as well. This ripple effect creates a culture of success, where the celebration of small victories encourages others to pursue their own goals with greater determination. Our small wins become a testament to what is possible when we commit to progress, no matter how modest it may seem. In turn, this fosters a community of like-minded individuals who are motivated to take action, to strive for progress, and to embrace the philosophy that no achievement is too small to celebrate. This collective spirit, born from shared success, has a profound influence on the dynamics of any group or community. When individuals see the positive outcomes that result from consistent effort, they are more likely to be inspired to take their own small steps. This creates an environment where progress is normalized and success becomes a communal experience. The more these small victories are shared, the more the momentum grows, turning a few isolated wins into a collective culture of achievement. Moreover, these tiny wins can build a powerful network of support. By celebrating the accomplishments of others and sharing in their successes, we form connections that are rooted in mutual encouragement and accountability. This sense of community is not based on comparison or competition, but on the shared understanding that every small step taken is a victory worth recognizing. This network of support becomes an invaluable resource, providing motivation, encouragement, and a sense of belonging. When we work together to achieve even the smallest of goals, we not only strengthen ourselves, but we also build a foundation of solidarity that can carry us through more significant challenges. As the ripple effect spreads, it reinforces the idea that success is not a solitary pursuit. The quiet victories we achieve daily have the power to uplift those around us, inspire others to take action, and create a collective culture where progress is celebrated. These small wins, though often unnoticed, are the unseen force that drives communities forward, creating a cycle of positive momentum that fuels both individual and shared success. Through this process, tiny victories transform from isolated accomplishments into the building blocks of something far greater, a thriving, empowered community focused on progress, growth, and collective achievement. Chapter 5. Momentum in Motion, the Snowball Effect. The power of momentum is often underestimated, yet it is one of the most formidable forces in shaping success. Each small victory, no matter how seemingly insignificant, serves as the initial spark that propels us forward, gaining speed as we continue to add layers of accomplishment. This incremental progress, when nurtured, has the potential to build into a snowball effect, growing exponentially, picking up momentum, and carrying us toward larger goals with ease. What begins as a modest step forward soon becomes an unstoppable force, reshaping the trajectory of our efforts and transforming challenges into stepping stones. It is the nature of small wins to push us just a little further, building a sense of achievement that makes the next step easier to take. These victories are not isolated events. They are part of a continuum that steadily leads us toward our bigger ambitions. Each action, no matter how small, feeds into the next, creating a cascade of success that moves us closer to our long-term objectives. Momentum is like a current. At first, it might feel slow, but the more we engage in the process, the faster and more powerful it becomes. The cumulative effect of these wins results in an ongoing sense of progress, making the larger goal feel not just attainable, but inevitable. In this process, small victories help to build trust in ourselves. Every time we achieve something, no matter how minor, we reinforce the belief that we are capable of more. This growing self-confidence becomes the foundation upon which we build our future efforts. Trust in our own abilities is often the missing link that holds many back from achieving their goals. When we doubt our capacity to succeed, we hesitate, and when we hesitate, momentum stalls. But as we begin to acknowledge and celebrate the small wins, we create a feedback loop of trust and belief. With each win, we prove to ourselves that we have the strength, focus, and resilience to keep moving forward. Momentum also plays a critical role in overcoming obstacles. No journey is without its challenges, but the momentum we build through consistent action makes those obstacles seem smaller, more manageable, and less daunting. When we hit a roadblock, it is often easy to feel like all progress has come to a halt. But with momentum behind us, we are more equipped to face these setbacks with resilience. We understand that obstacles are temporary, and the habit of moving forward, of achieving small victories, allows us to see them for what they truly are: brief pauses in an otherwise unstoppable journey. The larger goal, once we've gained momentum, is no longer out of reach. It is simply the next stop on a path we are already traveling. As we sustain effort over time, the snowball effect takes hold. Momentum not only fuels the progress, but also makes it easier to continue putting in the work, even when external motivation wanes. It becomes less about the end result and more about the process itself, the consistent action that leads to constant forward movement. With momentum, the journey becomes enjoyable, and the effort required seems less overwhelming. Instead of constantly pushing against resistance, we find that we are now flowing with it. This shift in mindset is what allows us to keep going even in the face of challenges, knowing that each small win, each step, carries us closer to where we want to be. The more we engage in this cycle of momentum, the more unstoppable we become. This growing momentum is not only a driving force for personal achievement, but also for continued action. It is this momentum that keeps us engaged in the process, that sustains our drive through the ups and downs. When each small victory propels us forward, we find that obstacles lose their power and success becomes inevitable. The snowball effect is real. Small actions compound into massive outcomes, and the momentum we create becomes a force that not only drives us, but also defines our path. Chapter 6. Overcoming Resistance with Tiny Wins. Resistance in all its forms has the uncanny ability to halt progress in its tracks. Whether it is procrastination, self-doubt, or the overwhelming sense of inadequacy that creeps in when faced with a challenge, resistance is often the greatest obstacle to achieving our goals. However, small wins, when strategically cultivated, hold the key to overcoming this resistance. These minor victories, seemingly insignificant in isolation, can build a powerful momentum that defies procrastination and quiets the voice of self-doubt, ultimately allowing us to move forward with purpose. The first step in defeating resistance is recognizing that it often arises from the fear of failure or the daunting nature of a task. When a goal appears too large, too complex, or too distant, our natural instinct is to delay or avoid taking action. We convince ourselves that we're not ready or that we need more time, resources, or preparation. But what if, instead of waiting for the perfect moment to start, we focus on taking small, deliberate actions that require little effort but create a sense of accomplishment? These small actions, over time, break through the inertia and start to dissolve the fear that fuels procrastination. Every tiny win serves as proof that progress is possible. It tells us that the task at hand is not as insurmountable as it first appeared, and that we can handle it piece by piece. With each small success, we chip away at the resistance, gaining confidence that we are indeed capable of moving forward. This growing sense of competence shifts our mindset from one of avoidance to one of engagement. The more we experience these little victories, the more we see that the barriers we once feared are actually within our control. They are no longer obstacles, but stepping stones that lead us toward our ultimate goal. Resistance is not just about the avoidance of work. It's also about the internal battles we face when doubt clouds our judgment. The negative thoughts that tell us we are not good enough, not capable enough, or not deserving of success often stem from our own internal narratives. These thoughts create a mental roadblock that prevents us from taking action. But when we start with a small, manageable task, we bypass the overwhelming nature of our doubts. We take one step forward and immediately experience a sense of accomplishment. This accomplishment, no matter how small, disrupts the negative feedback loop and encourages a shift in our internal dialogue. With each small win, we begin to replace the narrative of "I can't" with "I did," which slowly but surely builds a new, empowering perspective. Small wins also transform resistance into momentum through deliberate, consistent action. The key to overcoming procrastination is not waiting for the perfect burst of motivation or the perfect time to act. Instead, it is about taking the first step, no matter how small, and letting that step lead to the next. The momentum created by small wins builds on itself, propelling us forward even when we would otherwise stall. As we accumulate these victories, the task at hand begins to feel less daunting and more manageable. What seemed like a mountain to climb becomes a series of steps that we can take one at a time. The resistance that once held us back is gradually replaced by a forward-moving energy that carries us beyond where we started. In addition to action, the key to transforming small wins into powerful results lies in patience and persistence. It is easy to become discouraged when we don't see immediate, large-scale success. But true progress is rarely linear, and the journey toward achievement is often one of gradual, step-by-step growth. Small wins accumulate over time, and when we remain patient, they eventually add up to something much larger than we initially imagined. This is where persistence comes in, the willingness to stay the course, even when progress feels slow or the goal still seems far away. By continuing to show up and make those small, consistent efforts, we build not only momentum, but also a mindset that is unshaken by setbacks or delays. The power of tiny wins lies in their ability to soften the resistance that holds us back. They allow us to bypass procrastination, counter self-doubt, and create momentum through consistent action. When we approach our goals through small, manageable steps, we find that the resistance we once feared is no longer a force that controls us. Instead, it becomes a challenge we can overcome with patience, persistence, and an unwavering belief in the power of incremental progress. Chapter 7. Celebrating Small Wins for Lasting Motivation. The pursuit of meaningful goals is often long, filled with moments of doubt and difficulty. It's easy to lose sight of progress in the face of a distant end goal. Yet the key to sustaining motivation through such periods lies not just in the grand accomplishments, but in the small victories that pave the way toward them. Recognizing and savoring each win, no matter how small, acts as a critical reminder of how far we've come and serves as a powerful tool for fueling continued effort. Every small win, whether completing a task, making progress toward a goal, or simply maintaining consistency, is a form of evidence that success is possible. These wins are markers on the journey, and each one deserves acknowledgement. Too often, the instinct is to rush toward the next task or the next challenge, leaving little time to appreciate the effort and the progress that has been made. However, when we pause to savor each win, we not only reinforce our commitment to the goal, but also cultivate a sense of gratitude for the journey itself. This celebration, however minor it may seem, is not just a moment of pleasure. It is a reinforcement of the mindset that success is not only attainable, but is already unfolding in our lives. Celebration plays an essential role in maintaining momentum. When we take the time to recognize and reward our small wins, we signal to our minds and bodies that the work we've put in matters. This acknowledgement triggers positive emotions and reinforces the cycle of action. The brain, in turn, is conditioned to seek out more of the same rewarding experiences, which makes the process of working toward the next small win more enjoyable. The act of celebrating is a reminder that progress is real and that each effort we put forth is a step towards something larger. This celebration doesn't need to be extravagant. It can be as simple as acknowledging a job well done or taking a moment to feel proud of what was achieved. The more we allow ourselves to feel good about the wins, the more motivation we'll have to continue taking the next step forward. It's important to recognize that celebration doesn't only serve as a motivational tool in the moment, but also contributes significantly to future success. Reflection on our achievements is a powerful process that helps us internalize the lessons and skills we've developed along the way. Taking the time to look back on what we've accomplished enables us to gain insights into what works, what didn't, and how we can improve moving forward. This reflection turns each win into a learning opportunity, allowing us to build on our experiences and refine our strategies for the future. The more we celebrate and reflect on our achievements, the more we create a positive feedback loop that reinforces the belief that we are capable of achieving even greater things. The process of recognizing and savoring each win also allows us to reshape our relationship with success. It's easy to become obsessed with the end goal and fixate on the distance left to travel. However, by shifting our focus to the small victories along the way, we learn to enjoy the process itself. This shift in perspective not only makes the journey more enjoyable, but also makes the goal feel more within reach. When each small win is celebrated, the larger goal becomes less intimidating and more like a natural progression. It's no longer something far off in the distance. It's a culmination of all the small wins that have already been achieved. By making celebration a regular part of the process, we transform our approach to success. Rather than seeing it as a distant and elusive prize, we begin to experience success in real time, in the daily actions and accomplishments that lead to bigger achievements. When we celebrate, we not only boost our motivation, but also strengthen our belief in the possibility of our goals. It becomes less about the outcome and more about the fulfillment found in the journey, making every step forward a triumph worth savoring. Each small win becomes a foundation for greater momentum, and with every celebration, we solidify our drive to keep going. Chapter 8. The Unstoppable Power of Small Wins. In a world often captivated by instant gratification and monumental achievements, it's easy to overlook the significance of small wins. Yet, those seemingly insignificant moments of progress are the building blocks of true, long-lasting success. Embracing small victories doesn't just transform how we approach our goals. It reshapes the very nature of achievement itself. When we fully embrace the power of small wins, we realize that success isn't an isolated event, but rather a continuous process driven by consistent, incremental progress. Small victories, accumulated over time, form a momentum that propels us forward. Each win, no matter how modest, adds fuel to the fire of our aspirations. With every success, we strengthen our resilience, deepen our resolve, and solidify our belief in our ability to achieve even greater things. The power lies not in achieving perfection in a single leap, but in the steady, unwavering commitment to progress. This commitment to small wins creates an unstoppable force that drives us forward, even when obstacles arise. As we build a history of small victories, they become a testament to our persistence and an assurance that every challenge is surmountable. The key to scaling success lies in the relentless focus on incremental growth. It's easy to become discouraged when progress seems slow or when the ultimate goal feels distant. However, it's precisely by zooming in on the small, manageable steps that we gain the clarity and focus needed to keep moving forward. Each small win is a confirmation that we are moving in the right direction. As we develop the habit of setting and achieving micro goals, we naturally build confidence in our abilities. This sense of accomplishment feeds into the belief that every step forward is a step closer to our larger ambitions. And as we refine our ability to achieve these micro goals, we become better equipped to tackle bigger challenges with the same methodical approach. There is immense power in looking at success not as a singular event, but as a series of interconnected moments. The idea that success comes from one major breakthrough can create an illusion of speed and ease, making us more prone to frustration when things don't happen immediately. But the truth is, success is an ongoing journey made up of many small milestones. By acknowledging and building on each of these milestones, we start to see a path that continuously rises upward. As we reach each small victory, we gain not only the confidence to reach for more, but the awareness that each step contributes to the larger tapestry of success we are creating. Small wins also have the unique ability to shape our mindset and shift how we approach both failure and success. When we embrace incremental progress, we come to understand that setbacks are part of the process, not roadblocks. Every small win teaches us that failure isn't the opposite of success. It's simply another part of the journey. Through this lens, we no longer fear failure, but see it as an opportunity to learn, adapt, and grow. The power of small wins lies not just in the accomplishments themselves, but in the mindset they cultivate. The mindset that sees every effort as valuable, every setback as temporary, and every victory as a springboard for further growth. What truly makes small wins unstoppable is their cumulative effect. As we continue to stack these wins, they compound over time, resulting in a much larger impact than any individual success could create. The more we achieve, the more momentum we build, and the more our confidence grows. We find ourselves reaching new heights, not because we've taken giant leaps, but because we've consistently made progress, each step building on the last. Small wins become the foundation upon which we can build our greatest successes, and by focusing on them, we can propel ourselves toward the extraordinary. The practice of embracing small victories also reshapes the way we view long-term goals. It helps us understand that achieving something monumental is not about waiting for one big moment of triumph, but about understanding the intricate process of progress. When we celebrate the small steps, acknowledging their importance and recognizing the value in each one, we develop the fortitude to keep moving toward bigger goals. This approach shifts the focus from overwhelming ambition to manageable, everyday actions, making the pursuit of greatness feel less daunting and more achievable. It's the process of relentlessly building on our past wins that ultimately allows us to reach new heights and sustain our momentum through the inevitable challenges that arise. Conclusion: success is not born from single, grand gestures, but from the continuous accumulation of small, meaningful victories. In a world that often glorifies the extraordinary, it's easy to forget the immense power embedded in the quiet, everyday wins. Each small step forward, each tiny victory adds to the foundation of something greater, creating a force that propels us toward lasting success. This is the unstoppable momentum that shapes our lives, both professionally and personally. As you move forward, remember that the pursuit of greatness is not defined by dramatic leaps, but by the ability to show up, take small actions, and build upon each accomplishment, no matter how insignificant it may seem at first. The consistency of these efforts creates the strength and resilience needed to reach new heights. By focusing on the journey of incremental growth, You unlock the true potential of your aspirations, understanding that progress is made not in sudden bursts, but in the steady and unrelenting forward motion of small wins. The power of small wins lies in their ability to change your mindset, build confidence, and fuel momentum that can carry you through even the toughest challenges. With each victory, you cultivate a deeper belief in yourself, and your confidence grows, paving the way for even greater achievements. The key to success isn't in avoiding setbacks, but in embracing the process of consistent progress and learning from every step along the way. The beauty of small wins is that they are always within your reach. They do not require monumental efforts or flawless execution, only dedication to doing something, however small, toward your goals. By focusing on these wins, you not only propel yourself closer to your aspirations, but also set the stage for sustained success. The journey of growth, when approached with patience and persistence, becomes less about the end result and more about the continual process of becoming the best version of yourself. And through this process, you will discover that with every small win, you create an unstoppable momentum that can carry you beyond even your wildest dreams.